Okay, do those 3 problems for me, please, and then we're going to do some new powers. Okay, so you turn me off and then turn me back on after getting them done. When you divide things the same base, you subtract the powers, so it'd be x squared over y squared. This one you reduce it, so 5 goes into both, so it'd be 2/3 x cubed. And this one, when you have a product to a power, you raise each one to the power. So x to the 60, y to the 80. Now notice, since we have a break this week, I'm not going to assign you any homework, and there's no test this week. All I want you to do is watch videos. You had a video Monday, then Tuesday and Wednesday you had a video, and then you're going to have a couple videos on Thursday. So please watch them. That's all I'm asking. Okay, new law of exponent. One we haven't done yet is, what do you do when you have something to the 0 power? Well, anything to the 0 power is 1. It has to do with x to the 7th or anything divided by itself. You could say it's 1, or you could say, because anything divided by itself is 1, or when you divide two things in base, you subtract the powers, but 7 minus 7 would be 0. So whenever you have a power 0, the item is 1, except for 0. You can never raise 0 to the 0 power. But other than that, so if I said what's 1242 to the 0 power times 67, a lot of people get mad if I put that on a test, saying, oh my goodness, how big is that without a calculator? But wait a minute, anything with to 0 power is 1, so it'd be 1 times 67 is 67. Or if I said 3x to the 7th to the 0 times 2x. Well, you'd say anything to the 0 power is 1, so it'd be 1 times the 2x, so it's 2x. Woohoo! Next law of exponent. What if you have something in the numerator raised to the negative and something in the denominator raised to a negative? Well, whenever you got a negative power, all it really means is move it. It should be in the other location. So this negative power just means move it on down. This one, negative power, means move it on up. So if I have x to the 6th over x to the negative 10, there's different ways of doing that problem. You can use the division rule for exponents, or you could say, wait a minute, I'm going to get rid of that negative by moving it on up. And then once you move it, the negative's gone. And anything, when you multiply anything with the same base, you add the powers. So if I have x to the negative 3rd, y to the 5th, over x to the 7th times y to the negative 10th. Again, a lot of ways of doing this problem. But I'm going to move it, because I like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. So negative power, bring it on down. X to the 7th doesn't move because it's not negative. Y to the 5th, leave it alone. It's not negative. But, oh, that's negative. Move it on up. So this would be y to the 15th, because when you multiply two things, same base, you add. X to the 10th. Woohoo! So if I had this, x to the negative 6, y to the 4th, all raised to the negative 10th. Now again, there's different ways of doing this. Instead of moving it right now, I like to raise both to that power. Because when you have a base to a power, then raise it to another power, the whole thing, you multiply. So this would be x to the 60th, because two negatives make a positive, y to the negative 40th. But oh my goodness, the negative power, move it on down. Hoo-hoo. And then that's your answer, because no more negative powers. There's a rule that says your answer cannot have a negative power in it. unless it's scientific notation, whatever that is. So let's look at this. What if I have x to the 4th to the negative 3rd? Well, the rule says when you have a base raised to a power, then you raise it to another power, you multiply the powers. So 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. But a negative power means you've got to move it. We like to move it. So it'd be 1 on top, x to the 12th, in the denominator. Mercy. So if I have, let's say, 2/3 to the negative 2. Then negative 2 means I need to do 2 things before my task is accomplished. At some point, I need to take the reciprocal or move it, and then I also need to square it. So I'm going to do the moving first. So I'm going to flip it because they're both in parentheses. And then 3/2 squared is 9/4. So just try 1 for me, please. I know it's quick. Now, Thursday, I'm going to have a couple videos reviewing laws of exponents. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. Oh. Okay. See if you can figure that one out and then turn me back on. Okay. So negative in the power, move it on down. Y to the 10th, we'll keep it up there. X to the negative 4, move it on up. Oh my goodness. And then y to the negative 6, move it on up. So when you divide 2 things, same base, you subtract, put it where the larger power was. And when you multiply 2 things, same base, you add. So like I said, I plan to have 2 videos of practice on Thursday. And we'll be doing this in class if you have me on Wednesday. Have a good day.